Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Selenkay. Selenkay is an Argentinian created series. It's a kind of a supernatural mystery kind of series. Definitely young adult inspired kind of thing. It features a young woman named Sophia who travels into this remote village, well, near a remote village. In fact, an island in the middle of a lake in a national forest called Selenkay, on the edge of a town called Rio Villa, I believe. Yeah, it's seriously, it's pretty remote, but not as remote as where she came from. Her whole family came from. In fact, when she introduces herself to a new friend at school, when she eventually gets there, she says, "Oh, I'm from I'm from Antarctica." Yeah. That's pretty remote. I guess she's just grown up there for the last few years, and it's all she's really known. So she's eager to get into a society, just somewhere where there's other people that aren't her family. She's kind of restless. She's a teenage female protagonist for so many young adult novels. Now, this is from 2024. It's actually 2023 in Argentina, but that's what the copyright said. But this is new to Disney Plus in 2024. It's one season, 8 episodes. The episodes tend to run about 32 minutes long each. Yeah, right? All of them? Oh no, some of them are longer. There's a 38 minute. 38, then it's, yeah. They seems like they alternate, 38, 31, 32, something like that. But yeah, so we get a feel for what Sophia is going through. She introduces us in an overdub. Yes, this is not one of the untranslated, you have to read everything, subtitled one. That's overdubbed in English or whatever language you choose from the menu. But by default, it's on English for me. So we get to hear through Sophia's inner monologue about what she thinks of each of her family members, usually with 2 adjectives each. It's mom, dad, I think an older brother, and a younger sister. Dad is more of a free spirit, listening to a busted tape stuck in the car that they rented, I guess, or leased, I don't know. Dusty Springfield is just playing on a loop in the car. I don't know if that has any significance as to what is in store for our characters. You'd recognize the song if you're at least my age. I can't imagine many of you are much younger. I don't know. Maybe you are. There are some younger. No, there are. You're not alone. So what we have here is a dad, a mom who's more of the I don't know. She's kind of the boss. She's wearing the pants. Dad's more sort of, whatever. But he is in charge of the national park. We don't see him actually show up for work or anything. He just suddenly puts on a hat and a jacket and his little badge and scolds people making campfires inside the park and kicks them out. I'll get back to that in a moment. But mom is more, I think, she's like a mechanic. She's the one the car breaks down, she fixes it, kind of thing. Older brother is more protective. He's kind of, I don't know, a little awkward, a little bit more intense, and he's kind of always looking out for his younger sisters to the degree that that's kind of all he does. He's not really a social person. The younger sister is a little bit eccentric. She's a bit more granola and a little bit more like her parents. She is very much more science-minded, and she knows about trees and things like that. She's like, oh, that tree has an interesting bark, and starts taking pictures of it. She's like into plants. And by the way, if you're wondering what the undertone of this is very pro-nature and science and understanding of our effect on the climate and nature and everything else. It's a little overt, let's just say, especially when Sophia arrives at school, and the very first thing she says as she steps into class is to start to get into a debate with the cute boy that she had met the day before in the woods. I'm going to spoil a little bit of things just because I have to set something up for something that most of you probably do not realize is on Disney Plus. It doesn't have a Mickey Mouse, and it doesn't have a Star Wars in it or a Marvel cinematic universe. It's got, it's different. It's I should say it's different, but it also has a lot of the hallmarks we know from so many young adult novels. So, as I've said at the beginning, she wants to get away from everything, from her family, and she wants to sort of explore on her own. She knows enough about the area that as they're driving by, she gives us and her family a little tease as to what might be coming later in the story. They say that lake has magical powers. Really? Well, we're about to find out whether that's true or not, right? Yeah. She on one day out, she falls in and suddenly comes to in the lake and realizes she's not so much in danger, even though she bumped her head, and she steps out. Parents are all like, well, how could you do this? How could you go out on your own? They're overprotective, understandably so, because they're not used to an environment where there's too many variables beyond their own family. But this little village in the middle of nowhere seems perfectly pleasant, and there's a little school, and it's honestly, I think it's about the size of my hometown, which was very small, barely a few thousand people, if that. Maybe not even 1,000 people. I have no idea. It looks pretty small, but it's gorgeous. If you need, if this story served no other purpose, it is to show the absolute beauty of nature in Argentina. Yeah, it's just the Selenkay National Park. I don't know if that's a real park or not, but it's let me check real quick to see if it's it doesn't tell me, but it's just a gorgeous area, so much nature, and the people who live there don't seem to be too intrusive upon the beauty of it all. There's no big skyscrapers suddenly going up or whatever, but the town itself becomes a little important when she steps into class. There's already a kid talking about the importance of nature in their beliefs within this little neighborhood, this little city, town, village, this little village. He's like, some people think it was a big bang that created the world, or God, or other things. We believe that it's fire and water, and that's how it came to be, and that's how it could be destroyed, and blah blah blah. So, the fire and water is a very big theme in this. Of course, we even see that in Sophia's voiceover from the very first minute of the story here. She going back to her after she falls in the lake, she ends up going out again, but with her dad and her brother and sister, and they run across 3 young men who look like variations on obscene kids. A little emo, not so much goth, but a little emo. And at best, they look like they're teenagers or early 20s. The oldest one, he looked so familiar. He looked like a Milo, the guy from Heroes. Yeah, it's Italian though. I think I'm pretty sure it's Italian. Anyway, because didn't he play Rocky's son in later films? These kids are hanging out in the woods just staring at a campfire, and while Dad engages 2 of them, one of which is really snarky and the other one is a bit more mature and he's apologetic, Sophia makes her way around to the edge of the campsite to find a boy sitting high on a rock, hair draped over his face, his hood up. It's every YA heroine's dream boy. He's mysterious. He's cute. He's got that hair. And he looks at me and doesn't say his name. He leaves me wanting. Yeah, it's the perfect setup to the perfect boy. and she becomes quickly obsessed with him, and soon finds out she and her siblings are not the only new kids at school. These three boys, at least his name is Gale. Oh, Gale, it's wind, but his last name is Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X. It's the Latin and Spanish version. So Gale Phoenix. That like, if I didn't see the guy, you'd think, man, that's gonna be a pretty hot dude. Like he can't be a guy named Gale Phoenix and be just like, hey guys, I'm a nerd. It's just not gonna happen. It wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be stepping into the shot like, I'm Gale Phoenix. No, that would never work. Maybe with some draped hair. Yeah, no. What's your name? Popping the hood up and walking away. Yeah, that's Gale. And so, yeah, Sophia quickly becomes a bit obsessed with him. And, yeah, we know that this is the two of them have a strange connection. As Sophia goes and starts exploring the town with her new friend from school that she's just met, they find a certain place that was recently struck by lightning for some reason, and there was no storm. And, well, we discover... Oh, by the way, that's Gale, just so you know. I forgot that he was sitting right behind me. Yeah. Just put the hair a little bit further over when we first see him. Yeah. So, again, there's not exactly some big surprises when it comes to this, somewhat of the structure or the expectations when it comes to the romance to be, maybe. But I have a feeling that this could be, I can't figure out necessarily just yet what the core mystery is and what is going to happen. It feels apocalyptic. It feels like something could happen that she and Gale need to prevent with their abilities. She seems connected to water, and I'm betting Gale Phoenix is connected to fire. Just a guess. I've only watched the first episode. So I say give this a shot if you're looking for yet another YA-themed storyline with a strong-headed female protagonist and her hunky boyfriend-to-be. I don't know if he's hunky, but he's pretty. So, half a dozen of one, six of the other. Yeah, it's just, it works. It's just what it's going to be. And their target audience is going to be teenage girls. Living this story through Sophia. By the way, her sister her name is, what is it? Phlox? Her name is Phlox. I'd never heard the name Phlox. Their last names are Rivera. But Phlox, she wears gloves all the time. Is she Rogue from the X-Men? I don't know. But I have a feeling there's some sort of explanation for that. Some sort of maybe tactile sensitivity kind of situation. I'm not sure. But everybody, I think, serves their purpose in this story. And of course, there's probably a destiny to be resolved. And that's what Selenkay is likely about. Definitely, it doesn't go the same, like, hey, we're a special school full of kids who all have special powers route, which is so common. It's so common. And nobody's trying to be a superhero. And it's not, there's not like witches involved. But I say give it a shot, give it a try if you're looking for something that you haven't seen before, that's something you haven't seen recently, let's just say. I don't know. But yeah, the cast seems up to the task. They're pleasant to look at, as they tend to be cast. The dad reminds me of somebody else. I'm trying to think, but it's like I'm looking at their credits and I don't recognize the things in their credits. But I imagine it's mostly Argentinian-based productions. But they look familiar. I don't know why. I say definitely give it a shot. It's newer, so it's not like it was made during the crazy panic where everything was suddenly based on a YA novel. Somebody like the early 2000s, after Harry Potter really hit, everybody was just crapping out piles of YA novel produced stuff. And now it's not so much the hot ticket, not the guaranteed hot ticket after, some things like Divergent and other things didn't do so well. This has the opportunity to explore not just messaging when it comes to, taking care of nature and climate change and things like that, but also you get a little mysterious supernatural romance, probably, that could affect the entire world. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 39. 39 is... Okay. This is probably the last of the series that we've had. This is actually a documentary. I don't know if it's a series or not, but there's a bunch of them that start with the first word, or the first two words, and then this is probably the last one of that set. This is Born in Africa. So yeah, we got another documentary about Africa. I have a feeling we're going to see elephants, maybe some lions, maybe Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't know. But I have a feeling it's more nature rather than, we're a people or a tribe or a culture that was born in Africa. It just tends to be more about the animals and the creatures that live in there. So, Born in Africa is what we're watching next in the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.